Many different ways in order to develop and cultivate your relationship with God. Okay, it doesn't need to be just in church. It doesn't need to be just on the weekends. Okay, it can be every day in everything we do. That is the goal, right? It's not just that we turn it on and off. It's that it's a way of life. So this is an opportunity to celebrate the different faith lives of our students. You might be sitting next to someone who is really not sure of where they are on their faith journey. You might be sitting next to someone who goes to Mass every Sunday religiously. You might be sitting next to someone who's Christian, but not Catholic, who's not Catholic, not Christian. There's a lot of different people in this world and in our community, and it's important that everybody has a chance to partake. Thank you to those who have given their time to make this a reality. Largely the people that are sitting up here today, and I'll thank them at the end, but it's been about a month in the planning. So we're going to begin with an opening prayer. So as everybody can just center yourselves, please. And Andrew is going to lead us.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Today we glorify you and pray to you, thanking you for all the good things in life you have given to us. In the spirit of those who have helped us, for all who have gathered here today, we ask you for your help in loving others, and to glorify your name in the way you ask. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. St. Ignatius.
Fantastic. Now we're going to hear from Mr. Day.
We go one more slide, then I'll be ready. That's it. Morning. Good job wearing the blue and gold, fellas. Usually the middle school crushes around the blue and gold, but I'd say the high school guys are catching up. Well done, fellas. Anyway, good morning. It's great to be with all of you this morning at our annual Thanksgiving prayer service. So the question that was posed was about my faith, and what does my faith mean to me? To capture something in the 7 minutes that I have been given has really taken me 48 years to truly understand. And I'd say that process of understanding my faith continues today. With each year, I come to understand, I come to appreciate and value my faith even more. Often, it's the changing context of the world around me that sheds additional light on the depth of my faith and allows me to grow more appreciative of its role in my life. I'm Catholic, and I'm very proud of that. Did I question my faith over the years? Sure. But I always came out with a deeper and more profound appreciation for the role that Catholicism plays in my life. To me, there are expectations that accompany being Catholic. I'd like to focus on just one. The most important to me is that I, as a Catholic, should strive to be a model of Christ. To be accepting, to be loving, to be caring, to be morally and ethically responsible. If Catholicism expects me and other Catholics to be models of Christ, then I should expect those around me to hold me accountable. And I'll do the same to my fellow Catholics. Do I fail at this? All of the time. All the time. But do I strive for this? All of the time. In my personal efforts to move toward this way of living out my faith, it's helpful for me to see the face of Christ in those around me. Reminders that Christ is ever present, especially when I find myself drifting away from what it truly means to be a model of Christ on earth. So once I get through this, I'll show you the next slide. This all began, and my colleagues have heard this before, more than 30 years ago, when I worked on several occasions with inmates in a prison in Mexico. In them, in their struggles, I saw Christ. Some of them committed horrific crimes, and some of them were petty thieves. But all of them struggling and desiring to find some peace in a place of such desolation. I couldn't believe the smiles on their faces, the contagious laughter, the joy at competing with one another in soccer. How could this be in such a desolate place? It was their faith, their deep faith, that provided them with a sense of hope and joy that this Christ, this Savior, was among them. There was no other explanation for me. Christ was present behind the walls and the barbed wire, in the prison cells, and on the recreation field. I saw it in their eyes, and I saw it in their smiles. Where one would expect to see emptiness and darkness, I saw light and hope. And this fixed in me an even deeper desire to see Christ in others, in order that they may see Christ in me. I've come to see the face of Christ in those addicted to drugs, in alcoholics, in prisoners, in AIDS victims, in immigrants, in the homeless, in the abused, in gang members, in the elderly, and the infirm. Where Christ is present, so too is hope, joy, and promise. Beyond the addictions, the prison bars, the illnesses, the starvation, the yearning for freedom and escape from oppression, is a depth of existence and being that cannot be underestimated. Christ is there. The son of a carpenter, a man of humble beginnings, a man who understood suffering beyond our comprehension. He who endured such pain now and forever enters into the lives of those whose feet only he can put on solid ground. And I look into those eyes and I see purity. And I see my own call to live out as a model of Christ. If they can, then the least I can do is try. And that's my challenge to myself each day. And for that, I'm most thankful. I yearn to see the face of Christ in all those around me, and am inspired to return the favor. And so too, I challenge you during this time of giving thanks to not look away, but to look deeper, to see the true essence of the person before you. And there, you will find Christ. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Mr. Day. Is there any way that we can dim the lights a little bit? If not, it's okay. So, for the videos, some of the video quality is going to vary because the videos have been sent in from all over. Chris, okay, can you stand up? Chris Cody, all right. He among so many other people I need to thank today, but Chris put together all the videos, edited everything, and made this happen. So let's give it up for him. So you're going to hear from people in our community, you're going to hear from alumni, and some of the alumni you'll hear from someone who experienced a lot of trauma. Someone who was a wonderful Don when he was here, experienced a lot of trauma, and has had to reconcile a great deal in his life. He was attacked in had to undergo a process of forgiveness and getting over that. And he'll speak a little bit about that. You'll also hear from a student who transferred. He went to college freshman year, tried his best, realized things weren't working out, and has transferred. And that might be something that you might experience in your life. And he was a retreat leader when he was here. Fantastic person. So you'll also hear from someone who is currently serving our country, and who is a role model for all of us. So very excited. You'll hear from different voices from the community here as well. And this is all the students created this video. I asked some of the alumni, but it's really on these guys. So let's cue it up.
Hey, Brendan. Hope all is well, man. It's good to hear from you, and I wanted to thank you for this opportunity to really discuss my faith, my background in it, what I'm thankful for, how my faith helped me navigate through life's struggles, ordeals, and what I've learned through the community of faith. So here it goes. My background in faith began as a child when I was born into a family of Catholics. Before attending Loyola, I always saw faith as more of a construct of religion and a mere duty than a belief system. But upon attending Loyola, I learned how I could formulate my faith from religion as a way to help navigate through my life struggles. This is where my faith began to formulate itself into a real belief system. I began to value the ideals of forgiveness, love, connection, compassion, wholeness, and open-mindedness, all of which I learned from Loyola. It gave me the strength to evaluate and look introspectively within myself in order to wean out the aspects of me which were providing no benefit. In turn, it gave me permission to accept all areas of self, which is hard to do when you're in high school or when you're confused or don't know who that self is. I'm immensely grateful for my faith, most of which I learned from Loyola. The real turning point or aha moment in my faith was Kairos. It showed me how to dissolve the constructs of society and see myself and those around me whom they are, and not just the labels I once chose to place upon them or myself. It showed me that the value of bestowing my trust upon others and how important that trust is within the confines of relationships. Faith taught me that trust is the underbelly of what it meant, what it means to remain open and honest with others and myself. And learning how to trust and what trust meant, I was able to learn how to effectively love myself and those around me. And understanding the importance of love and trust as a result of my faith, my life became vibrant with color and diversity, and I began to welcome experiences and challenges as the way to learn more deeply about myself and, in turn, the world around me. It gave me the eagerness and tenacity to face life head-on, so that I could be greater than my fears and believe fully in my hopes and dreams, no matter the obstacles or negativity from those around me who were telling me otherwise. If it weren't for Kairos and my experiences as a result of what I've learned from Kairos through my faith, I honestly would not have been able to remain faithful and forgiving in the face of some of my life's greatest challenges and struggles. My faith allowed me to keep in perspective the things which were most important in life, when my environment and circumstances were doing their best to convince me otherwise. It kept me optimistic for life and void of regret and remorse. Most importantly, my faith allowed me to overcome the fears placed on me from trauma and betrayal, two of life's most resounding despairs, especially for me. My faith is what kept me open towards forgiving those who had done harm to me, and in return feeling empathy and love for them. It's not easy to feel love and forgiveness for those who hurt you, but with faith, I was reminded of how important those things are. It kept me true to myself so that I never adapted the victim mentality, but assumed my position as still a strong, loving, open, and faith-driven man. Faith was the teacher in showing me that there was a lesson to be learned from my struggle, which was far greater than me, but that I was the vessel to show others that our faith can transcend any bad that is done to us. Hey, Brendan. Hope all is well, man. It's good to hear from you, and I want to thank you for this opportunity to really discuss my faith, my background in it, what I'm thankful for, how my faith helped me navigate through.
So, so that wasn't supposed to happen, obviously.
Bad days. And that's all I got for you, Brennan. Thank you so much again for this opportunity, man. I love being a part of everything that you're a part of. It makes me feel like I have a bigger purpose, and it gives more reason behind my struggles. I feel like it's almost like more of a learning experience for me and a growing experience. So thank you so much, man.
Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Floyd. I'm a class of 2015 from Loyola Blakefield. I'm currently a junior at the University of Maryland, College Park, and just going to share a little bit about me and my faith. I think throughout my time at Loyola and throughout my time in life facing certain obstacles, I think that my faith has definitely grown in a level that I didn't even imagine it could. Through those tough times and facing adversity, whether it was a bad grade on a test or even the fact that I actually transferred from a different school, and that was a very big thing, and it really was about the faith that I had in God. So this season, I will say that I'm very thankful for God, and I'm very thankful for Him blessing me and putting me in the right places, and that faith has just grown further and further through every single obstacle. And so also forgot to mention I'm not Catholic, I am Baptist, so to speak. So but I think that I'm just thankful for the network of people around me, Mr. O'Kane, my family, my parents, like the great resources here at Loyola Blakefield. And so I would just say that during the season that I'm very thankful for those things, and those people have allowed me and given me the guidance and allowed me to take steps forward in my faith and allow me to just grow spiritually. I would also say, like, another big thing that I would say at Loyola that really allowed me to grow in my faith was being afforded the opportunity for Mr. O'Kane to lead Kairos. And so that was a really big step in my journey in my faith, because not only was I worried about myself and how I could grow spiritually, but I think it was a big step because I was finally looking to allow others to grow spiritually in the same way. So I think that was definitely a major point and a major milestone in my faith. And so this Thanksgiving, like I said, I'm very thankful for the people around me. I'm thankful to be in this position, and I'm just honestly extremely thankful for all the blessings and opportunities that have been bestowed.
Hi, Loyola Blakefield. We're here with Mr. Richard. Why are you thankful for your faith?
I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my wife, my daughter. I'm thankful to be able to work at Loyola Blakefield with good people. I'm thankful to be here with students who are good guys, good young men. And I appreciate awakening every day.
That was great. We have Matthew, Billy, and Henry right here saying why they're thankful for their faith. Why are you thankful for your faith, Matthew, Billy?
I'm thankful for my faith because I can pray to God all the time when I'm in trouble.
Henry, why are you thankful for your faith?
I'm thankful because I can have friends and family care for me, and God look after me at all times.
There you have it, folks. According why people are thankful for their faith. We have Ben Broadwell here. Why are you thankful for your faith?
Well, faith has kind of unlocked a lot of truth inside of me. Over the years, I've always pondered over the mysteries of life, and I think that faith has helped me a lot in all sorts of ways, in religious and ethical things.
Thank you, Dr. Loyola Blakefield. We have the drama teacher, Mr. Garrettson, here to help me about why he's thankful for his faith. Why are you thankful for your faith?
I'm just very thankful for my family and for the opportunity to work here and
to work with this great community here at Loyola.
That was great. Good luck, Loyola Blakefield. Why are you thankful for your faith?
I'm thankful for my faith because I'm thankful for my friends and family, thankful for this place, thankful for all of you guys, thankful for a place to go to after school every day, and thankful for everything I have.
That was great. Here, five, sign in.
Hey, Loyola. For those who don't know me, I'm Captain James. I'm not here. I teach history, I coach rugby at Loyola, and I tell really cheesy jokes to all my students. Being deployed has given me lots of new perspectives because my life here is different from what I'm used to. I've traded my shirt and tie for an Army uniform, and I'm over 6,000 miles away from home, doing a job that's really different from my day-to-day at Loyola, that's for sure. One day this past summer, I flew into a really remote base. It was hot. It was over 120 degrees outside, and I was wearing about 40 pounds of body armor, and I sweat through my uniform. Once I landed, I immediately had to get to work. When I stopped working that night, I was exhausted, and I wanted nothing more than to go and grab a shower and go to sleep. However, when I got outside, I noticed that it was pitch black outside. I had to find out where I was supposed to sleep at a base I had never been to before, and I couldn't seem to find my way. And then suddenly, my flashlight ran out of batteries, and I was really exasperated at that point. So at that point, I really became extraordinarily frustrated. But then out of frustration, I looked up into the sky. The sky above me was like nothing I'd ever seen before. I saw millions of bright stars, and the moon looked so close, it was like I could reach out and touch it. In this moment, I began to gather myself. I didn't allow my frustration to take hold. And pretty humorously, I actually discovered that I was basically right next to where I was supposed to sleep that night in the first place. The reason why I tell you this seemingly random story is because my faith helps me put things into perspective and look at the positives opposed to the negatives. Years from now, when I'm back home in Baltimore, I'm not going to remember my frustration that evening. I'm not going to remember how my flashlight ran out of batteries or how I wasn't able to find out where I was supposed to sleep that night. I'm going to remember the most beautiful and the brightest night sky I have ever seen in my entire life. And that's really an experience I never would have been exposed to anywhere else in the world at that time. Although my experience is pretty unique, I encourage you to think about how you can use your faith to look for the positives in your life. It's certainly the reason why I'm thankful for my faith. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you all in 2018. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving and enjoy the holidays in December for what I'm sure will be a well-deserved break. Beat the Hall.
So it took a lot for Captain James to get that video, and part of the reason why I didn't introduce people by name before the videos is because it was going to be a surprise. So he was very excited, as was Ryan Floyd and Sal Scatino, who both submitted videos as well. So Mr. James, or Captain James, was very excited to share with you, and I hope you, it took a lot for him to record that. He had been trying to get internet connectivity into a phone, and he went through a lot to get that. So when you see him, please thank him when he comes back. So now we are going to have some poetry sharing. Okay. Now the proper reaction, if you need to stand up for 5 seconds and then sit down, feel free. But the proper reaction to poetry sharing is to snap instead of clap. Okay? So if you can't snap, then you're out of luck. But yeah, so there you go. So you don't snap now, you snap after. Okay, so no snap. All right, thanks. So Ms. Potts is going to share a poem she wrote, and if you'd like to show your appreciation afterwards, please put the snaps.
Morning. My poem is entitled World Spirit. As I spend time in nature, I experience the work of our Creator. The cold rushing water in a stream chills me to the bone. Watching birds climb higher and higher toward the clouds lifts my spirit. Delighting in the taste of honeysuckle picked by a nearby shrub. Breathing in the musk of decomposing trees grounds me in the present moment. The crunch of leaves underfoot reminds me that everything must let go. Thank you.
Awesome job. Now we're going to hear from Patrick.
Hello, I'm Patrick Eskildson, and my poem is called Faith. Faith is strong. It sparks the joyful. It welcomes the sorrowful. It strengthens the weak. It brightens the bleak. It protects us from danger. It motivates the dreamer. Faith is always right and never wrong. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm just warming up for the flag football game later. That's why I'm running around so much. So now we're going to hear from Tyree, from Dominic, and Nicholas. All right, they're going to share reflections on their faith. It takes a lot to speak in front of everybody, so let's give it up for these guys.
Good morning. As Mr. O'Kane said, my name is Tyree. I'm a current senior here, and I'm here to talk about my faith. Usually when we hear the word faith, we automatically think about how it ties up with religion. However, the definition of faith is to have complete trust and confidence in someone or something. While having faith in God is great, there's also an aspect of having faith in those around you as well. Now, why am I thankful for my faith? Great question to ask. I'm Christian, but I'm not Catholic. I'm Baptist, but I'm not Southern Baptist. The reasons I say this is because there are many different aspects that Christianity has. My pastor will always tell us that we need to put our faith in action. When I heard this, I thought to myself, well, what does that actually mean? I took some time, thought about it, and then it dawned on me. The whole time, my pastor was telling me to be like Jesus. This meant for me to act and think the same way that Jesus would. Whenever Jesus was in tough situations, he would always remember his faith and have total and complete trust in God that he would get him through these tough situations. But Jesus did not test God. This is very important to me. Since God is always with me, there is no need to test me. When going through tough situations, I usually feel like I'm all alone. But in reality, it's God carrying me through those tough situations. I'm also thankful for my faith because I've made so many friends from putting my faith in action. Whether it was doing community service here at Loyola or at my church. Once a month at my church, we will partner with 3 or 4 different churches and do a food drive. This food drive was to benefit those in the community in which our church is located in. This has provided me with an opportunity to put my faith into action and also make new friends while serving and giving back to that community. Faith gives me the opportunity to live a good life and to make the most of my time while here on earth. Thank you, and go down the road.
So my name is Dominic, I'm a senior here, and I'm here to talk about my faith. So growing up, I always considered myself a Christian. My parents were Christian, my sister was Christian, and pretty much everyone I knew was Christian. And we all went to church every Sunday and even Wednesdays. Everyone had a general belief that Jesus died on the cross and rose 3 days later, and so I did. It wasn't until I got older that I realized religion wasn't as simple as I once thought it was. I always thought that Christianity was the only religion, aside from maybe Islam or Judaism. It wasn't around until my first year of middle school that I found out different sets of religion, such as Catholic or Baptist. I realized that not every Christian or every person felt the same way about religion. That's even resulted in heavy conflict. Personally, I really didn't realize what all the fuss was about. Coming from the family that I came from, it seemed plain unnecessary. I always respected everyone's different beliefs, but I didn't really see why people who believed in different religion or thought differently about salvation were always opposed to each other. In my opinion, I believe that even though one person may be Catholic or Baptist or believe in some other religion, that we should all respect each other's beliefs. With my Christian faith, I believe that we shouldn't separate ourselves because of these simple differences. My faith has ultimately made me a more tolerable and understanding person, and has allowed me to easily engage with people at school and in life, regardless of faith. Thank you.
I'm in 7th grade. I want to start off with a quote from Benjamin Franklin. The only way to see faith is to shut the eye of reason. There are many different meanings of that quote, but the most important meaning is that you don't need a reason for faith. It is everywhere. I may not go to church as often as I should, but I know that faith is everywhere. I recognize faith everywhere without reason. In my friends, in my family, and especially in the Loyola community. Every day at school I see faith. On the football field, when someone else helps someone else up. In the classroom, when a teacher helps a student understand a subject that they might not be familiar with. Or after school, when your friend helps you with your studies. Now, every day from now on, I want you to sit down and think about where you saw your faith. You will be surprised to find out how many places you've seen it that day. Thank you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Okay, so I'd like to now take this time to thank the planning committee. So for everybody that was involved, everybody that shared, could you please stand up at this time? Right there. Awesome. Okay, so they're just going to say hello and happy Thanksgiving, just the middle schoolers and the high schoolers. They're just going to say hello and happy Thanksgiving real quick.
Hello, happy Thanksgiving.
What's your name?
Otto the Fridge.
I'm Christopher, happy Thanksgiving.
I'm Patrick, happy Thanksgiving.
I'm Brendan, happy Thanksgiving.
So, Nick, happy Thanksgiving.
My name is Andrew, I'm a freshman, happy Thanksgiving. Hey, I'm Tyree, happy Thanksgiving.
My name is Dominic, people just call me Dom, and happy Thanksgiving.
All right, very good. Thank you so much. And special thanks again to Mr. Day, Ms. Potts, and to everybody that shared, to everybody that was part of this. There are a couple of last things. If everybody could just take a moment now to conclude and just think of the people that you're going to encounter during Thanksgiving. So think of your family members, think of your friends, and just take a moment and dwell in gratitude. The reality is that we have an opportunity to be bridges for one another. We have an opportunity to make life easier, to make people feel valued, to make people feel important. But we need to put ourselves out there in order to do that. So that involves sharing about who you are and welcoming other people into the fold. So I can't stress enough the importance of this planning committee, of all of you. And if you'd like to continue this type of reflection, we are going to be offering during Advent on December 6th and then the week of the 11th through the 15th. During all lunch periods, we're going to have reflection lunches. I've talked to a few students that are going to be leaders of that group, of those small groups, and we're going to continue our reflection. It's very simple. All you do, instead of going and sitting with your friends at lunch, you come upstairs to the campus ministry office, and there's going to be a book, a little reflection book. We share some scripture. We have a conversation about what we think. We eat some food, have some snacks, and if there's leftover time, we'll play some Xbox together. All right? So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, all parts of it, okay, not just the Xbox, then sign up. There's sign-up sheets outside of the campus ministry office. It's really important, everybody, that we all take some time during Thanksgiving and just pause for a minute and look around and realize that we really do have a lot of people in our corner. We might think that we're alone, but we really do have a lot of people in our corner. And God is always there for us. So thank you. That is all that we have. But I do, if we could, just give it one more time for our musicians and for everybody.